Hello, everybody. I'm pretty sure the applause is because I'm the final speaker, not because I'm the top-rated panelist. Anyhow, I wanted to thank you all for spending the next couple of minutes with me. I think it's the right time in the conference to give a round of applause to the organizers for yet another fantastic event. Like most of you, I have been attending the App Promotion Summit for the past couple of years, and every year there are more and more faces in the room, which is a great sign. It means that this show is growing and there is a bigger and bigger interest for it. So I actually took the time to look at some of the highlights from last year. I wanted to see what the people were talking about, because the point of this keynote is to let you know where we've been, where we are, where we're going. So I'm going to keep it short, because I know I'm the last hurdle between you and the PIMS and the drinks on the other side of the room, of the door. So as I was saying, I was looking at last year. Lots of people were talking about how do I best optimize my app to rank in the app stores? How do I get most users for the lowest cost? And how do I get the best ROI for my investment? And we've heard some of these questions today as well, and there seems to be one answer that covers most of them. You start with targeting. We've seen over the past 12 months, and especially I think since the beginning of this year, the targeting becoming more and more sophisticated and going into more and more granular detail. Because buying advertisers is no longer buying in-stores. It's about buying audience profiles. Advertising is a lot more powerful and a lot more cost-effective when it leverages the data to reach the right consumers. You're going to use the demographics, you're going to use OS, device, carriers, and more importantly, we start using purchase behavior and behavioral traits. Which means that the targeting, or the right targeting, can actually bring the acquisition costs down by 15 to 60%. That is an amazing decrease in costs. But targeting by itself, it will not work. It's not a miracle worker. So you have a targeting, but if you're going to be using the same old banner which says, download now, it's free, it's not going to work. So you need to have the right ad. You need to have the right format, but you need to have the right message as well. And what we're seeing across performance players and brands alike is that everybody is engaging in storytelling these days. It's no longer about download me, it's free, and you'll see what you get afterwards. It's about seducing the users, seducing and engaging the users, because it's the only way that you're going to get engaged user and you're going to get the best return on investment for your budgets. So brands are engaging with the users through a variety of creatives. Almost all platforms are now offering interactive creatives. And more importantly, we've been hearing a lot about video. Video does work, and it has become stronger and stronger probably this year. It was already a hot trend last year, but nobody could quite measure it. Well, now we know for a fact that publishers that have been ledgering video have seen an increase in revenues of 40% and an increase in eCPMs of 3.9% in Q1 2015 versus Q4 2014. So that's a very big increase. And again, video doesn't work because it's the latest sexy thing that you need to use because everybody's using it, and at the end of the day, you have a manager that says, listen, everybody's doing video, we have to do it as well. It works because it's part of a bigger trend. And probably this is the biggest change that we're seeing in the mobile space, the fact that the branding and the performance space are blending to the point where it is now the final or the ultimate solution for advertisers. We see a lot of performance marketers choosing large branding opportunities and large-scale events to communicate their messages, just as we see a lot of brands using games with strong call to actions to get their message across. I mean, I'm sure that all of you have seen the Candy Crush TV commercials. We know that when King first launched the game in Japan, they were somewhere top 100. And when they launched the TV ads, and within a couple of days, they went to #1. But King, okay, they are a success story by themselves. we've seen this year, Supercell, at the Super Bowl, they invested $9 million in their TV spot, and it went on to become the most viewed TV commercial on YouTube with over 30 million views within 1 week. I mean, the budgets that these guys are spending are just incredible. And probably the biggest of them all is Machine Zone, that has invested 80, as in $80 million in their series of TV commercials with Kate Upton, and went on to become the #2 most grossing games of all time with a daily revenue of over $1.2 billion. So these are incredibly impressive numbers. And guess what? None of these guys are buying on a CPI basis, because irrespective of what we've been hearing today, that the CPI costs are going up, the reality is that CPI is sort of dead. At the end of the day, you don't care how much you're paying on a CPI if what you're getting is a user that has opened the application once and has never used it again. What you care is you're paying the right price for the engagement that you are getting from your users. Which means that at the end of the day, we are in the perfect space today, and we are very fortunate to be so, because mobile is the perfect space. It's where users are spending most of their time, and they are constantly connected. It's where we have the most sophisticated tracking methods. I'm not going to go into a tracking dissertation, but we've seen today that a lot of third-party tracking providers or the big companies are now coming out with multi-touch attribution tools, which means that we will finally be able to understand the impact of each and every media across the user journey conversion. And that's a huge, huge, huge step forward from all the, let's say, issues and concerns we've been having on how best to evaluate the impact of each and every channel. We are in a space that has the most dynamic and probably more and more granular targeting, which means that now audience profiling is not only automated but also scalable. And at the end of the day, we are probably in the most technologically innovative medium out there today. All this makes mobile probably the best branding opportunity, with tablets and full screen ads and smartphones, where you can fully measure the interaction with each and every user. And that's it. I have to do something, because obviously you've been listening to promotional speeches all day long, and I have to do my 30 seconds of it, otherwise my marketing team will kill me. There is one company that is doing all of the above, and I'm very happy to invite you all for the networking drinks, and my team and I from Cheetah Platform will tell you all about it.